Welcome to Singapore, a small but densely populated island nation located at the heart of Southeast Asia. An economic giant, it is one of the world's major commercial hubs, the world's fourth biggest financial center, and one of the top 5 busiest ports. Sailing is big here, with numerous national and international events. Singapore has focused heavily on its junior sailing, equipping young sailors with the skills to enjoy a lifetime in the sport and perform on the world stage and youth level, continental championships, world championships, and onto the pinnacle of sport, the Olympic Games. Singapore has proven itself as a world-class sailing venue and has hosted some of the world's major sailing events, such as the Extreme Sailing Series. Singapore welcomed the opening act of 2015 in early February, where the world's top professional sailors do battle in an adrenaline-fueled series of races. Events like the Extreme Sailing Series promote sailing, leaving a legacy for the sport and unquestionably inspire the next generation of sailors.
How sailing has grown all around the island. So we have flagship events like the Straits Regatta, Western Circuit in August. Those are the domestic events, but international as well. And we host continental or world events as well. Even next week, professional events like Extreme Sailing Series that comes to Singapore once every year. It's quite interesting, but apart from that, I think the important thing is the legacy. It's important that these events and what's going on inspires the next generation of sailors.
Singapore earned itself the right to host the first ever Youth Olympic Games in 2010, an international multi-sport event for athletes aged 14 to 18 years old, organised by the International Olympic Committee. Held every 2 years with a winter and summer session, the Youth Olympics are a benchmark for young sailors. Since 2010, Singapore has hosted a celebrationary Youth Olympics festival. This annual participation event serves as a reminder to the young sailors. The list of sailing events held in Singapore continues to grow. Windsurfing, offshore racing, match racing, national championships, schools championships, multi-hull sailing, and much more are all on this year's calendar. In June, Singapore will also host the Southeast Asian Games, a biennial multi-sport event for the 11 nations of Southeast Asia. The first major event of 2015 was the SIM 34th Singapore Open RS1 Asian Windsurfing Championship 2015, an annual event with a long-standing 34-year heritage. Singapore's top windsurfing event, it brings together the best talents from Singapore and surrounding Asian nations for 4 days of racing and plays a crucial role in the development of windsurfing in the region.
This event really is a benchmark for us to see whether the trend of windsurfing is it growing or not. The trend is coming up. More and more people is coming to participate in this event. More countries year after year.
Whilst out-and-out racing and podium success is the name of the game for many, it is not the priority for others. Joining the racing in a more festival style were students from the Singapore Institute of Management, or SIM. As title sponsor, SIM is the biggest supporter of the championships and recognises sailing's role as a unique learning experience.
I think it's a very enriching experience, and also I would say it's fun because having to compete with the other competitors really allows me to put my skills to the test, and especially training for this past 6 months for this competition, it also allows me to pit my skills against them.
Back on the racetrack, and all eyes were tuned into the RS1 class this year, as the event also marked the Asian Championships. Competition was tough, with 15 athletes from China, Hong Kong, Indonesia, Philippines and Singapore in contention for the 12-race series. Hong Kong dominated in the big techno class last year, taking all 3 spots on the podium in the boys' fleet and a silver in the girls. The team arrived in Singapore trained, confident and ready and waiting to transfer their 2014 success to the RS1 class. Hong Kong's Cheng Kwok Fai ruled the course from day one with back-to-back wins. By the final day, he was uncatchable, claiming the crown as RS1 Men's Asian Champion 2015. Medals for teammates too. Lee Chung-ting secured bronze, and in the women's RS1 fleet, a silver and bronze for Nai Wai Yan and Ma Quan Ching, rewarding Hong Kong with 4 medals. China was the other big winner, with 2 podium finishes. Zhang Zichao secured silver in the men's division, and Li Xuai-yang lifted the RS1 Women's Asian Champion crown. In the RSX class, Indonesia's Oka Sulaksana was back at the front of the action after many years of absence from elite-level racing. After 4 Olympic Games appearances in windsurfing, he has since worked as a national team coach. 2015 marks Sulaksana's return to the competitive windsurfing world, and impressively, he finished 4th, just losing bronze on the last day. A great surprise for the athletes who had the opportunity to compete against him.
He's very good on the water. It was a very close fight, even up to today in the last race, where he managed to pull in front out of the whole fleet.
On the racecourse closer to shore, novice windsurfers competing in the 6th SIM Windsurfing Championship, soaking up the fun as they tried to improve their skills in a more Corinthian-level competition. Winning still counts, but equally important is the opportunity to experience the pure joy of windsurfing alongside your fellow students. Competition in the Formula and race sport fleet switched gears as competitors put on an impressive performance on the racecourse. Singapore's Joshua Chu claimed victory in the Formula class, counting 4 wins from 5 races. The RSX women and youth raced in one fleet with separate prizes awarded. Finishing first overall in the under-19 years youth category was Japan's Kensei Keida from a tidy 12-race scoreboard to 7 wins. Thailand's Siripon Kaiwanan Nam took glory as the winner of the RSX women fleet. Up against each other in the Techno Youth 293 fleet are boys and girls aged 17 and under. China dominated in both divisions, with Dong Zaiwan winning the boys and Chen Yuyi the girls. The younger sailors were in the Techno 293 junior fleet for boys and girls under 15 years. Watching the racing action was none other than Neil Pride, windsurfing legend and one of the world's biggest players in the sport.
I think we really have to give a lot of credit to Singapore for the effort they are putting into the development of especially, I would say, youth sailing. I mean, you look at the facilities here, it's tremendous. This is all targeted at young people on the water. And if we could see this level of support for youth in windsurfing and sailing in general, I think we'd see the yachting and sailing sports a lot stronger in the rest of the world.
Join the next episode when we check in on the racing at the 21st Singapore Straits Regatta. It is the only event held on both sides of the Straits, in Indonesia and Singapore, attracting a hotbed of Asia's finest racing talent. Do not miss it.